various dignitaries are visiting the family of the late Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. SABC News reporter Ayanda Mhlongo is keeping track of that story. Let's get the latest from her. Ayanda, good afternoon. We've obviously just been in conversation with you. You've given us a wrap of what has transpired today as various dignitaries have come to pay their final respects. What is currently happening on your end?
Indeed, Liesl, members of society, political parties continue to arrive here at the home of the late founder of the IFP and party, President Emeritus of the IFP, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. And we've been discussing a lot of the messages that have come out from the leaders that have been here today. But what was something that was also quite important to Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi was young people. Young people were always very close to his heart, and the issues affecting young people, he would never miss an opportunity to speak about the challenges that young people in our country were confronted with, whether it is challenges of access to education, challenges of unemployment. And this now brings me to my next guest, the chairperson of the IFP's Youth Brigade, Sanele Zondi, and just to get their reflection on their leader. And of course it is, as we've been saying, a very, very difficult time for the members of the IFP and the leaders of the IFP, having lost their founding father. Sanele Zondi, thank you so much for your time. Condolences to you and of course the party as well. Let's firstly get, it's the first time we are getting an opportunity to speak to yourselves as the IFP Youth Brigade. You have come out here to pay homage to your president, to your leader. You've come out here in your numbers. Let's first get your comment on the passing of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi.
It's very sad. It's very sad for us as the young people of this country and the young people of this party, the IFP. You know, but we are very fortunate. We think we have to thank God to give us an opportunity to be a last generation of young people in the country and in the party to witness and see this miracle, because Ndwana was not a human being. He was above that. You know, things that he done, the way he was thinking, the way he was handling issues. You know, you wonder how come he keep on for this long on the hail of insult and the way that people, they treated him, betrayed him for several times, but he keep on forgiving for those people, and he understood the man's mind. You know that when you say this today, you can say a different story tomorrow. He was the only person that will never say something different from what he said yesterday. So it's a great loss, but we thank God to give us an opportunity to be part of Mntwana's life, to learn and to witness and to learn from him. You know, because there are people that will read on the book about Mntwana, but will tell the story that what we've seen. We've learned from schools he built. We've learned from universities that he built. Our fathers were working in the firms that he built. You know, other people and others of us who are living in township, they are living in township that he built from the scratch. You know, so it's a great loss. But we thank God that in our generation, he bring the men of his kind, and no one will be come to his stature in this generation that we are in. But we are hoping we'll take those good things that he taught us and try to live and try to do exactly as how he taught us and how he lived in his life. You know, one will wish that we got some time together with him. But you know, the issue of age, as much as this thing of passing is something that we understand that we have to pass, but it's not easily acceptable. So we are grieving, as much as we thank God, but on the other side, we think there's something to learn, because every time when we are in the same room, you'll learn something about life, about mankind. He'll tell you something that you see is unfamiliar at that time, but tomorrow you'll see that he means this thing, you know.
So I was saying that even at the age of 95, he was always very much in touch with young people, and the issues affecting young people. I mean, even on a lighter note, he would joke, even on social media. I mean, we live in the digital era now of social media and different social media platforms, and he would joke about different social media platforms. So what do you take away from him? I mean, I'm saying at 95-year-old, you are the young people coming up within the IFP, but you were always still able to find each other despite the age gap.
As I said, Dwana, you always knew when you're talking to him, you just understand what you're going to say and what you are thinking. That's why it made it easy for him to live with us. Some of us, we are the generation from that generation from how we but there's still a community, something that is common between us and him, because he understood the future of this country lies in us. He once became a youth leader. He knows things that he done when he was a youth leader, and if he was killed for those things, the future of this country lost a great leader from him. So he understood that we have to be let do mistake. We have to do things as we think, so that we'll grow. We have to make mistake and be corrected and not be destroyed. And that's where we feel the pain, because there is no leader of his such caliber. So we've lost a great leader, and we pray that God may bring His Spirit among us, so that we'll take from him, to understand each other, to be patient with each other, because that guy was patient. That guy, there are many people who came here who insulted him, and many times said many bad things about him, but we should forget about them. We forgive about them. In one aspect, just past month, there's an issue of collusion and so forth, and they said, you cannot close the door for other parties. They're insulting you. Say no. Those leaders, they can burn bridges today that they need tomorrow. We are talking about someone who was insulting him yesterday, but when you talk about that person, next time you laugh and say, oh, this one doesn't know this world. So we forgive him, wait for him to come around. And that happened exactly. I've heard that in the morning, the leader of the AFF was here, and he said, that they are ready to work with us next year in this province. And then who thought so? Because the AFF was insulting us just yesterday, but now they are saying that they are ready, they are waiting for us to work together in order to bring the service to the people of KwaZulu-Natal. So we lost a leader with a rare caliber. But we pray that God must bring the spirit of Ndona Pinangene among us, so that we will be able to cherish each other, to work with each other, forgive one another, and continue the service of the nation.
Sanelezando, you certainly have big shoes to fill as the young people of the IFP Youth Brigade. We thank you, sir, for your time. That was the chairperson there, Liesel, of the IFP Youth Brigade, of course, saying something important, that they're grateful that they're the last generation of IFP, of the young people in the IFP that got an opportunity to meet and learn from the a founding father of the IFP, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. And so it's now up to them as leaders to take his party and his vision forward.